Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is WanQ. First of all, I want to apologize for not making any more videos over the past 2 to 3 months. A lot has happened. I graduated with my MBA and Master's in Civil Engineering degree. I moved to a complete new city. I started a new job. Right now, I'm finally settling down and revisiting my YouTube channel. So thank you all for staying with me, supporting my channel, and looking forward to my videos. It means so much. So without further ado, today we are going to talk about full-time job offers. Since I finally settled down, started a new job, I can finally talk about all the full-time offers that I received, how I received, what was the interview process, and the negotiation process, and which offer I ended up choosing. So before graduation, I got a total of 5 full-time job offers. This has been a very good year for candidates in the job market, and I am also very lucky to graduate at the end of 2021 and taking advantage of the job market. My first job offer is the offer that extended from my previous co-op or internship program during the spring semester of 2021. So I worked for a firm from January all the way to the beginning of August, and I did a really good job. They are very happy about my performance, and so at the final day, the end date of my internship, they called me to the headquarters, called me to the office with a lot of the big bosses, and we had conversation. They extended me an offer on the table on my last day of internship. So I was very flattered, and they went through some of the details, the terms, but at that time I was definitely not prepared to make any decisions. So I ended up saying that I need more time to consider and etc., and ended up rejecting that offer. I didn't have to go through any formal interview process at all for this full-time position, because my entire internship process was the evidence of me being completely competent of this full-time position. Something that I do have to say is that I have been expressing my interest to work for the firm long-term during my entire internship process. So whenever they have evaluation, if they have presentation, or if the senior management came on site and it's time for me to perform, I make sure that I have been super professional, super prepared, and make sure that they know who I am, what I do, what I have contributed. And also I tell my manager all the time, hey, I really love this team. I really want to continue this relationship with ABC company. So I have been expressing that, and all the way to the HR about 1 to 2 months before my internship ends, I remember reaching out to my manager and reaching out to the HR saying that, hey, I'm about to graduate soon and I have this interest. Can we have a brief chat about future opportunities after my internship? So you have to take initiative on your end, aside from, working hard, fulfilling your day-to-day duties. So that's something that we do have to keep in mind. Internships are a great way to open your door to a really good company. And especially when you have a great experience during your internship, you might end up having that opportunity, and they're very happy they prioritize great interns. So my second offer is with another general contractor firm. I interviewed with this firm last year for their internship program. Unfortunately, I didn't past the last interview, and the timing was very tricky. So I ended up going to the previous company that I talked about, but I have maintained the relationship with this firm, and I also have a really good MBA alum who works for the general contractor. So I made sure to make the connection, to do my networking and connect with him, ask him about his experience in the firm, and also make sure that he referred me to the HR. And so they already have, my file, my resume in their system, and they know me. And this year, upon graduation, I reminded the HR again, hey, I'm graduating soon. I'm very, very interested, and I'm on the job market. And during the engineering career fair, I visit their booth, expressed my interest, and I also told the I believe it was like a president or something, very important guy. He was at the career fair. I made sure to tell him, hey, I have been interviewing with your firm. I have connections in there. The HR knows me, and I'm really interested. Can we talk more? And then I made sure that I asked about his experience and let him do a lot of the talking on telling me how great the firm is. And at that time, I already have my first job offer. So I was calm. I want to investigate, and I think of it as a two-way thing, and I was definitely not too desperate. And so he was also impressed with my entire internship experience, my education, everything. So I ended up having an interview. I will talk about the interview processes later on all the interviews that I received. They are very different, but this basically took me a whole day. I had to drive to the firm and then do the interview in person. The entire interview process was about almost 3 hours, I believe. They were very happy about me, and I did the interview on a Thursday or Friday. I don't really remember, but the next Monday they were so happy, and they called me that they are basically going to extend a job offer. And the second one, from the offer, benefits, and the compensation package are all better than the first one, and even the job title and the job location are more, to me, they are more preferable. And so basically my second job offer became a baseline. I think lessons learned from this offer experience is that, first, keep in touch with all the previous companies, relationships, interviews, any experience that you had with a firm, because if they didn't accept you the year prior, they are very likely that they're still have your name and your profile in the system. And because they already interviewed you once, that means they have interest in you to some extent. And you want to make sure over the next year, next semester, whatever that time period, you work on yourself, you build your resume, and then you can have the confidence to go back and tell them, hey, I'm still interested. And then they saw your growth over the past year, past semester, and if you worked hard, they're going to be very impressed on how you grow, and they can imagine that if they hired you, you can grow at the same level and every year. And so never give up. And I had this happen to me more than once. And also make sure that you connect as many people as you can in the firm, and then still go to their engineering career fair, still go to that business career fair, tell the company representative who you know, and they would be super impressed and surprised that so many people and you had interviewed before this and that, and they would know, they are more likely to give you the job interview opportunity than to give someone that they just freshly met. And so I already got 2 job offers by September of 2021, and I graduate in December. So I got the first offer in August, second offer in September, and this was still very early in the semester. So I know that there are so many career fairs and opportunities coming my way, so I wasn't ready to accept anything yet. So the third job offer, I also had a relationship with this firm through my previous involvement in Graduate Society of Women Engineers. So Graduate Society of Women Engineers is basically an RSO that are dedicated to supporting women in STEM area and in the higher education. So I was super dedicated. I found so many good friends there. And at the same time, I saw that a lot of firms who hire a lot of master's and graduate level degree people are very interested in collaborating with Graduate Society of Women Engineers. I have been a social media coordinator and a funding coordinator for them. And during my time as a funding coordinator, I have been reaching out to this firm and asking for their sponsorship. And they're also very interested in sponsoring because they want to hire talents from our RSO. So, and then during the conversation of sponsorship, we went through all the logistics. And at the end, they were like, hey, by the way, are you interested? I'm like, yeah, of course. Of course I'm interested. But that was like a year and a half before my graduation. So I sent them my resume, I kept following up, and they kept, sending my resume to the construction consulting group and saying, hey, we have this candidate, she's from Grad Suite. And then I had a conversation with a senior manager at the construction consulting practice. I made sure that I follow up every semester to make sure that that senior manager still remembers me. And we went through a lot of the things, my interest and what the practice does. And so upon my graduation, so I reached out to him again, expressed my interest, and he made sure to schedule a second round interview with another 3 associates to learn more about the firm. That was the second round interview, lasted about 30 minutes, and I was really happy to meet a lot of the team members and ask about their experience. And I think they were impressed by my ability to communicate and my understanding of the industry. And so I was scheduled a third round interview. And the third round interview lasted about 4 hours, going on 5 probably, and there were breaks in between. There were like 5 to 7 people that interviewed me one by one, and I had to do a technical presentation that lasted for 30 minutes on any topics related to construction. In the end, I received the job offer about a week and a half after my third round interview. I received in early October. And I also pressured the firm to hurry it up a little bit because my first 2 offers are about to expire. This was a very different position than the previous one. This is a engineering and scientific consulting firm. The role is as an associate in the construction consulting group. So basically they do a lot of data processing, project management, risk management, even like disputes resolution and construction claims. So it is very different from a GC job where you go through the traditional project engineer, project manager, senior project manager, etc. that route. Aside from comparing the compensation package, location, etc., I have to understand the different roles and responsibilities and what I potentially love more. And also this one is in a very different location. It's in the West Coast. So I had to make a very hard decision. My fourth job offer, I went to both the business career fair, the firm was there, and I went to the engineering career fair, the firm was also represented there. So I went through 2, but clearly the engineering career fair representative was more interested in me than the business one because I think they were hiring more on the accounting side in the business career fair, and then the engineering career fair, they're more interested in hiring civil engineers and construction management students. So the representative was impressed by my resume and basically gave me an interview. So the interview, this was the longest interview I have ever done throughout my entire job search journey. So basically this interview was a whole day, I remember. And I had to interview with many different people for 1 hour or 45 minutes to 1 hour per person. And then last I had to do a case study where I had to perform certain tasks and use my judgment and write reports within that 1 hour and submit it. And in the end, I had to interview with the partner of the firm. And so it was very intense, but at this point, I actually, I know this sounds crazy for some people, but at this point, I had no pressure in getting a job offer, getting something out of it, because I already have other offers and I'm pretty happy with my options already. This was more of a experience for me, and I think of it as a long-term connecting opportunity, because this firm is also really cool. They do mainly construction consulting, on the dispute resolution, construction claim side. I went through the interview with a very open mind and a very calm heart. So very calm heart, because I had nothing to lose, and I was very, very interested in the area, because not a lot of people talk about disputes resolution during our program, during our, master's program and bachelor's program. This is a more niche area. And their jobs are very fancy. So a lot of them would actually testify in court when, different GCs, ownership, subcontractors are in a fight. I took this interview as a great opportunity to meet people in the firm and in this industry. It was a very joyful experience. A lot of the interviewer were talking way more about their experience than interrogating me on my experience. So at that point, I basically know that they are going to give me an offer. They're just trying to tell me how great the firm and how great the industry is. During the case study, I also thought of that as a learning opportunity. I practiced, of course I practiced Excel and, pivot tables, things like that the day before. This firm took the hiring process very, very seriously. It's also one thing I love about them. I had to submit 7 references. So I was calling people, I was texting, I was emailing people, hey, could you be my reference? I'm applying for this job. That was a lot of reference that you have to collect in, a week, especially you have other offers that are, expiring soon. Immediately after my reference check, they extended me an offer with a very good salary, with a very good location in downtown Chicago. That was the end of October, and that was my 4th offer. By the end of October, I had to make decisions because most of my offer expire at the end of October, and I also want to make sure that I have enough time to apply for OPT and make sure that I graduate. So I had to focus on, schoolwork and everything. The 5th offer came also at the end of October. This one was from a commercial real estate firm. So how I got this offer, I had a connection with a very, very good mentor of mine in the commercial real estate industry. That mentor came from the Goldie Initiative scholarship and mentorship program. So I am very grateful for that program. I'm very grateful that I get involved and took advantage of mentorship opportunities and built so many relationships. So I have been telling her, this firm has been my dream company, and it is. It truly is. And so she was also impressed by my experience and everything. She wanted to hire me, but it was a very, very big firm with so many processes, and they couldn't get a written offer in time. For this offer, I chatted with my mentor for about half an hour to 1 hour, and then I chat with a senior manager who would have been my direct supervisor. I checked with him for 30 minutes, and then basically from then on, it was just emailing back and forth on logistics, timelines, and my resume. So I didn't have to go through a lot of rigid interview process. And that's also something that I hope that it could have been different, because I would be very interested in meeting more people from the firm, from the team, learning about the culture of the team and their experiences, but unfortunately I didn't have the chance. But the projects are very interesting, so in the end, they gave me a verbal offer and a written email that I got an offer, but I never received a full offer letter where the compensation packages. It was very, very hard for me to make a decision if I chose them. So these are my experience of how I got 5 job offers and some of the lessons learned in between. So that is all for today's video. Please leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, like my video if you really enjoyed it, and share with your friends. Thank you. Bye.